Hey everyone, so I wanted to do a follow-up video for the Anycubic Kobra X. I honestly don't know how many hours I put on it. I'm assuming at least 500. Hate to start this on a negative for the printer, but one of the bad things, I guess, or pet peeve maybe, is you can't see the total print hours from the printer or from the slicer. You have to do it from the mobile app. But that's only available if you are not in LAN only mode. So yesterday, thanks to one of the comments on my previous video, he had told me where to look. So I attempted it. I even took it out of LAN only mode. But when I added it to the app, it showed it as having 0 hours print time. And I've got at least 3. So I don't know. I just kind of did an estimate. I've been printing on this thing. Yeah, that's it. Making some noises. It's doing the bed leveling. Okay. Ooh. Aggressive. And the funny thing is, I was going to comment about how quiet this printer is again, even though I've said it before, but yeah, it's really quiet. Other than that moment, it lost my train of thought. Thanks, Anycubic, you silly goose. So yeah, I've done a lot of hours on it. Yesterday, actually, I was only printing with it and the FlashForge 85X. The only reason for that is I was doing a lot of real quick prints, real small things that I actually don't have right here to show you. But so they're really convenient for that because of their AMS system, we'll call it, even though they're not AMS. But yeah, just being able to just quickly unload and load filament is awesome. I can't do that with any of the other printers that I have. You got to go through the whole sequence of unload, which heats up the print head and does all the stuff. Takes a few minutes, but it's a few minutes I don't want to just stand here and mess with it. Where with these two, I can just load the filament, go back in the other room, and by the time I'm in there, it's done doing its thing. I can tell it what colors and send the print job to it. Easy peasy. Weird thing. Easy peasy. Ugh. Anyway, enough about me. We're talking about there's one of the small prints. It actually just finished that very tiny print. But yeah, I mean, as you can see, you just put the filament up there, feed it through the tube. It makes a noise similar to that noise it just made, that it was finished printing, which is one of my favorite features, honestly, is just the audible noise to let me know it's done. This one does it. The FlashForge makes a noise when it finishes, and the P1S, I added the alarm from BQ, so now it does it too. Really nice feature to have. Also, just real quick, want to point out, I'm trying to take this YouTube stuff a little more serious, so I did invest in a new microphone. Hopefully I sound better and easier to hear over the printers. I'm trying to make the content a little bit better. A lot of you commented on my video where I said I regret buying this, and I appreciate all the comments. Please keep doing it. There's nothing you can say in the comments that's gonna like upset me, and just speak your mind. I mean, this is the internet. I know people do that anyway. Yeah, I'll never delete comments or anything unless it's offensive to others. You can say whatever you want about me or my printers. Actually, don't say anything about my printers. I will fight you in a gentle way. A couple of comments were talking about basically saying, hey, you only paid $300 for it. You can't expect too much from it. You just got to accept the flaws. And I don't think that's the right way to think. I mean, $300, it's not a lot of money considering how much some of these printers are, but that's a lot of cheeseburgers. And I say cheeseburgers because that was the point I was going to make, and I think I even put it in one of the comments that if you go to McDonald's and you get a cheeseburger and it's half frozen, you don't go, well, I mean, it was cheap, so I'll just accept it. If I wanted a better burger, I would have went somewhere else. I'll just eat this frozen cheeseburger. So, I mean, that's the same way with these printers. Yeah, this one may only be $300, but that doesn't mean I have to accept its, I won't even call them flaws, just quirks, I guess. The camera angle and the light. Yeah, there are community fixes for it, but it requires disassembly and the possibility of doing damage. One thing I've learned about these 3D printers is they're a little more delicate than their laser print paper cousins. I actually broke the flash forge while trying to fix it. It just needed a simple part replace. Support was amazing. I really enjoy their support, very fast. I accidentally pulled the ribbon cable out and not realizing that I didn't only pull the ribbon cable out, I pulled like the connectors and everything out. Yeah. So end up costing me, I haven't had to really deal with any Anycubic support other than when I ordered it and I was just trying to get some info from them because they went radio silence after ordering it. I just kind of would have expected some follow-up emails of, hey, we're delayed. We know we told you it would ship on this date, but it's not going to. Stuff like that. So on to the printer. Where do I sit now? Do I still have regrets? Short answer, no. No, I have no regrets. This printer has been rock solid. It's another one that I send print jobs to it and it just prints. I've had a few failures, but most of those were bed adhesion problems, and you can probably see I got some oily fingers, so it's not the printer's fault. I try to clean the bed before I use it. I didn't clean it this time because it's this little tiny piece that I was going to do, and I knew it would do fine. I'll clean it before I send anything else to it. But yeah, that's pretty much the only problem. Okay, yeah, you didn't have to show that problem. That I actually forgot that even happened. I guess I blocked it from my memory. I think that was probably bed adhesion too. So actually, you know what? That is that filament. That's that glow-in-the-dark filament that I've had trouble with in every printer I've put it in, and I don't know why. I'm pretty sure it's Sunlu brand. I primarily use Sunlu. I really like their filament. So I don't know what it is about that glow-in-the-dark one. So the only issues I have are still the same as what I mentioned in the last video about the camera is not in a good angle. The light's kind of useless because it's at the same angle as the camera, but I've kind of solved that, hopefully myself. Not with this light. I've showed this in the last video, but I actually installed a light above it. This corner was kind of dark, so it needed something anyway. I'm having to insert a flash drive to get the time lapse. It's not necessarily hard to do. It's just it'd be nice to be able to just not have to come out here to do it. And it's kind of like hidden even on here. Like, it doesn't make sense that you have to go to start printing to get to your videos. Like that makes no sense to me. Like, why wouldn't it be maybe down here or somewhere other than start printing? That's kind of weird. That's not something that's making me regret the printer. It's printing is the best part. It does print very well, and everything turns out nice too. It's not just that it doesn't fail. They actually look good too. So this is one of the things that I printed from it, but it prints in 5 different pieces, and then you kind of glue it together. It is in the multicolor. That's not painted. I mean, look at it. It's amazing how well that came out. It just looks very, very nice. I was just impressed. I've been doing most of any of these type of helmets on the P1S. And one thing I noticed in other videos that I've watched about this, I saw some about this one that were saying problems that they've had are sometimes when they feed through 1 and or 4, it doesn't always do the alert sound saying that it detected you put filament in there. And it's done that to me, but they were saying when it does that, it doesn't show up on the screen either, but mine did. And I've also noticed, like, when it doesn't detect it, I just pull it back and put it back in, and then it detects it, and it's fine. And by detect it, I mean it makes the noise. So I don't know that it's like a problem, but I mean it was for them because they said that it doesn't even detect it as being loaded. So yeah, that seems like a problem. I hopefully don't have that come up. I feel like most of the things I complained about in my last video were all minor, especially since now that I've put a lot of hours into this printer and it's done amazing. All right, so I think I've covered everything that was mentioned in the comments and just stuff in general that I've seen on other videos about this printer. Yeah, that's the gist of it. So, let me know what you think of yours now that you guys have had them for a while. Some of you already have commented on the last one and really enjoy yours. And I think there was a few that said they were waiting on theirs to come in. So if you got it and have been using it, let us know what you think of it. If you run into any problems with it, comment. Someone to help. I try to reply to every comment that I can. That need a reply, even if they don't. I try to, and I give them all likes, thumbs ups, and all the things, hearts. I heart you. Yeah, so just comment. I do read all of them, and like I said, don't be afraid of hurting my feelings, or I can cry myself to sleep. It's fine. It's fine. Anyway, yeah. So, but yeah, definitely worth the 300. And yeah, I know I started the video by saying don't just accept it because it's only 300, but for entry level printer, yes, very above and beyond what you would expect from a $300 printer. I think that's a good way to put it. Good printer. It's sitting over here. That's why I keep looking that direction, as if it's looking back, nodding its head at me. Yeah, I'm good. That's right. Yeah, so good printer. Let me know also, do I sound better with the mic? Is the camera motion not as seasickness? This also has where it can track me, so that's kind of cool. All right, so I'm going to end this. If I think of anything else, I'll add it. But I think I've covered everything that was brought up and everything that I had on my mind. So, in closing, thank you again for all the comments, for all the views. Keep it up. I'm going to try to keep it up. I really want to do a video a week, releasing a video a week. This past week, I don't want to make excuses, but some of it was work related, some of it was just me not doing it. Is what it comes down to. Yeah, I've been focused on too many other things, but I'm trying really hard to do a video a week, and if nothing else, do a short a week. I did release one was that last week or was that the week before? Anyway, it was one about a tip on how to make the P1S quieter. So if yours is loud, like mine was. It was definitely the loudest one I had here, even louder than the Centauri Carbon, which is very loud. But now I ran this calibration that it's got, and I'll link in the description to my video. It's a short. It's like a minute long on how to do that. And if I don't know if I can do a card for a short, but if I can, I'll put it, up there, wherever. And if not, there's a link in the description, and of course you can find it in my shorts. It kind of sounds perverted. Come look at my shorts for my. You want to see my? Okay, I'm gonna go. All right, bye everyone.